I want to say a quick hello to my Your Black World Breaking Brown fan. And I want to take a minute out today just to do a quick little breakdown. I know I talked about this last week, but a lot has happened. This whole Byron Allen versus Al Sharpton debacle. I know I already addressed this, but let me just take 5 minutes of your time to break down two really important issues as to why this is so important to me. Because I've gotten a lot of pushback from fans and friends and people on Facebook. Oh, this Byron Allen guy, he's a Republican, he's so right wing, blah 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 blah. But let me just break down to you why this Byron Allen lawsuit is so important right now, and why I am sort of, even our political differences aside, why I'm really riding with Byron right now. So let me just break that down for you. The first thing that's apparent to me, and it's something that Byron said, and it's something that's very true. Black media in this country is almost extinct, and that's an intentional thing. The only reason I'm at Your Black World and the reason I run Breaking Brown is because they are two independent black media outlets that are not run by anyone. And I think if you look at it, the first person to really talk about this in a way that I could understand was Ida B. Wells, who talked about the maliciousness and the untruthfulness of white media during the time of lynchings, when they talked about black people as these cutthroat, bestial animals who were just these black men who were out raping, white women and being hung from trees and hung from poles. She was the first one to really bring that out front and talk about the need for black media. And so what Byron Allen is basically saying is that black media can't get traction because these other black people like Al Sharpton take these small payoffs, and that's all they have to do. They don't have to work with true black media. That's not necessary anymore. So one of the things I want black people to consider is, what is the black community without black institutions? What is the black community without black media? What is the black community without actual historically black colleges? How can a black community exist without these institutions? So when you consider this Byron Allen lawsuit, you should consider the importance of black media. And Al Sharpton isn't black media. Going on to MSNBC and having a show isn't black media, because you don't own the platform. You don't own anything. You don't own the platform. You don't own distribution. So what are you even talking about? So one of the things that this Byron Allen lawsuit draws out for me is the importance of black media. And I'll be very honest with you. I am a person who believes that black media is important, believes that we have to have black media. And I see people like Al Sharpton standing in the way of that. It was Al Sharpton who took this $750,000 a year job with MSNBC to co-sign on this Comcast merger. Now, another point that Byron Allen brings up that people don't talk about, Byron Allen says that he opposed the merger. He opposed the merger because of those diversity issues. But they were able to box him out because they were able to get Al Sharpton on board. You can get Al Sharpton to co-sign on it, and black people think it's good because black people view, a lot of black people, certainly not black people who listen to me, but black people view Al Sharpton is sort of this racial spokesperson, when he was never elected by us. He runs no major organization. He only runs this shield organization, which is the National Action Network, which doesn't take member fees, and you can't count them, but he gets a nice check. He can do what he wants to do with it. So the first issue in terms of what I'm trying to bring to you in this breakdown is the importance of black media. And so you have to put aside whatever you think about Byron Allen's politics and think about the importance of black media and what this lawsuit means to black media. But the second point I want to make is the importance, or what I would call the lack of sophistication of the leaders in the black community in terms of what we're doing right now. The part of the reason that we as a community keeps getting played is because the people at the helm don't even know how to play the game. So you have, what Byron Allen describes as like these least expensive Negroes, which is what Al Sharpton is. You have these people who can't do what's necessary to be done in terms of protecting the black community. And honestly, I don't even know, if I think about it, whether or not Al Sharpton, whether or not that's even, a sort of a priority for him. And I don't even think that's a priority for, or has ever been a priority for Obama. Allen points out that the banks that, the banks that Obama bailed out don't even, give loans, or except for predatory loans, to black people. The car company that we bailed out, these car companies we bailed out. Listen, they're not even doing anything with black people in terms of advertisements, in terms of media. So you have this black president who has bailed out all these companies, but hasn't put in an ask for the black community where he says he comes from. He's a guy who will listen to Jay-Z, he'll listen to Lil Wayne or whatever, and he feels it like, okay, that makes me black. That's what it is. But you have no vested interest in your community. You have no desire to see your community prosper. You could have said when you bailed out the banks, listen, we're going to bail you out, but this is you have to give this percentage of loans to qualified black applicants. You have to do this. You have to improve your diversity this way. The same thing he could have done for the car company, but Obama never did that. So what you see in terms of what's happening here is a lack of sophistication among those who are supposed to be doing our bidding. Al Sharpton has visited the White House. I think I saw 60 some odd times. And as a black person, I want you to tell me what you have gotten in exchange for Sharpton visiting the White House. Now, I know what Sharpton got. Sharpton blessed the Comcast merger, and Sharpton got $750,000 a year, which is really small change in terms of the game that you're playing. But he doesn't know enough to know it's small change. He's a hood rat street preacher, so he doesn't know enough. So fine. But why are we having this guy do our bidding at the White House? And if he's done our bidding, what have we gained? I mean, we're coming to the end of the Obama administration. It is time for black people to ask themselves, what have we gained from this? And when we talk about sophistication, the third thing I'd say about the Byron Allen lawsuit is something, or I'd like to reiterate in terms of something Byron Allen said, was basically, even among the people that we look up to in terms of entertainers and whatnot, those people aren't doing anything for us either. A lot of people talked about the Byron Allen lawsuit and said, well, there are black people who have networks. Look at Revolt TV, and I think that's associated with Puff Daddy. Look at Magic Johnson's network. But as he pointed out, the people pulling the strings behind these networks, the venture capitalists and the people who are really doing this, are white people. These aren't really black-owned networks. This is it's sort of like the Jay-Z thing, when people would say, oh my God, Jay-Z is going to own part of the New Jersey Nets. Oh my God, we're so proud of him. Proud of him, why? I don't know. But we're so proud of him, and it turns out he was just a front guy for like this Russian billionaire. So what Byron Allen is saying, regardless of what you think of his politics, is that Magic Johnson, the people at Revolt TV, are just front people for white people who are doing business under the cover of finding a black guy who's willing to put his name on something for a little while. Okay, and who's in order to get a small payoff. It's very easy to do, and it seems that we aren't sophisticated enough to pick up on the con when the con happens, and that's the problem. Now, I don't think that Byron Allen's argument has been perfect. I mean, he needs to let go of the chicken jokes. I mean, I understand that Al Sharpton is cheap and he'll take $50,000 plus whatever, but stop talking about buckets of chicken. There's nothing to be gained from shaming black people about chicken. There's nothing wrong with eating fried chicken. I'm sure Byron Allen has had some fried chicken. So let's leave the chicken jokes alone. I'm not saying I agree with everything that Byron has said in the lead up to this. And I disagree with him basically saying, at some point I heard he said, I will deliver the black vote to, the Republican Party. Well, just like I don't want Al Sharpton to deliver the black vote to the Democratic Party, I don't want anybody, a black Republican, to deliver the vote to the Republican Party. What I want is for people to call Al Sharpton out as a charlatan, for people to understand that Byron Allen is right in terms of distribution. It looks like black media is truly owned. Black media is truly owned by black people, is being cut out of the deal, and this is going to be an ongoing process. It's not going to stop with Byron Allen, and people like Al Sharpton are the people who make this happen. So I think that's what I want to run down. I want to run down just the issue of and the importance of black media, how we're so unsophisticated that we have people at the helm who just screw us over from time and time again. And these shields who will say, "Oh, I'm a black media company, that's me," and it's not. You're just a fall guy. You're a guy. You'll take a little piece of change. You'll do whatever. That's who you are. So I just want to put that out there. because I know that this whole thing hasn't stopped. This whole conversation is ongoing, and I want to be a part of. I want to be the part of whatever keeps it ongoing, because we need to keep talking about this, and we need to have an assessment about this. This is something that we can't just let go. So I want you to think about that. I want you to comment about that. If you have thoughts about it, feel free to reach out to me at Breaking Brown, at Facebook. I'm at Twitter at Yvette DC. So let's continue this conversation. All right.